She's already saying that she loves him, and then he doesn't love her back. She's saying that she loves him for him, and then he'll never even know.
What is going on, girl? Is this even a relate? I don't know what this is. It just sounds toxic.
What up?
I'm Bianca.
And I'm Adrianne.
And we're two independent creative women living in New York City going through a lot of stuff.
And that's why we're here to share our experiences, and hopefully you can learn something from it.
Or you can just laugh with us.
And if you're tired of just hearing our voices, you can also see our lovely faces on these platforms.
Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Women in the Wild podcast.
In this episode of Women in the Wild,
What are we talking about?
We're dissecting song lyrics today, and we're going to divide it up into two categories: toxic songs about relationships, or toxic relationship songs, and then romantic love songs. And we have
Healthy relationships.
Yeah, and we have 4 total songs prepared for you. Got 2 each.
Yeah, and the 4 songs that we have, the two good ones are Lemonade by Jeremy Passion and
Sanctuary by Joji.
And the 2 toxic ones are In Love with Another Man by Jasmine Sullivan and My Man by Regina Spektor. So we're going to start with a positive one, so Lemonade.
Yeah, so we're choosing Lemonade as a song because it's so funny because Bianca and I actually know this song together, because most of the songs that we're dissecting today, we're kind of sharing like new stuff and haven't heard them before. So yeah, like Lemonade was something that we both knew, like even from maybe early on in high school. And I think also a lot of Filipinos know this artist, Jeremy Passion. Like he started out in YouTube, and I think that's mostly where he releases his stuff. But yeah, let's just dive into the song.
Cool.
She's my sunshine in the rain, my Tylenol when I'm in pain, yeah. Let me tell you what she means to me.
Cool. Yeah, so I mean, this song is so sweet and simple. I mean, we loved the song way back in high school when like love was less complicated. So, and that's also like, I guess the lesson in this, right? It's like love doesn't actually have to be complicated. It can be as simple as my sunshine in the rain, which is beautiful. Tylenol, that's an over-the-counter drug, so it's easy to ease your pain with just Tylenol. So low barrier of entry for pain management.
Like a tall glass of lemonade when it's burning hot on summer days. She's exactly what I need.
You can pause it. So yeah, I mean, the way I interpret the tall glass of lemonade is that lemon is such a refreshing fruit. Even on a day that isn't super hot, it's still really nice and refreshing. It even helps reset your body. Like if you put lemon in your water, it almost elevates your water too. So I don't know, I'm probably like reading more into this now that I'm 25, but it's kind of nice to like revisit the simple things and kind of be able to appreciate that from a person, that it's like, oh, you're so simple that it's refreshing. Or like, you love me so easy, this is refreshing.
Yeah. And I like that he says when it's burning on summer days. Like, I think he's referring to sometimes life is difficult because of the job or like things you encounter, circumstances. So the person that you have, you want it to feel like when you come back to them after dealing with everything else in the world, it's like a good space, or like a place where you can kind of reset and rest and feel good.
Yeah, and then he says like, she's exactly what I need. And I think we talked about this in other episodes. It's like, it's nice to also know exactly what you need and what you need from a person, and then that person is able to reciprocate that for you. So that was really nice that it's like, she's exactly what I need. It's like, yeah, good, you know your needs.
Yeah. And like the more you know what you need, the easier it's going to be to find that right person, because you know exactly
what to look for.
And also you probably know how to communicate your needs better to the other person. So there's like less assumptions or unrealistic expectations from each other.
Yeah.
The ocean rushing on the sand. She takes care of me, baby, and she helps me be a better man. She's so beautiful. Sometimes I stop to close my eyes. She's exactly what I need.
Cool. Okay, so my favorite part in that section was the she's soothing like the ocean rushing on the sand. And it's kind of cool if you read into it because the process of making glass and smoothing it is like happens in the ocean. And the turbulence of the waves is what causes things to actually be smooth. So for him to describe the ocean as something soothing, but then it's like rushing, but it's still soothing. It's like a really good balance of like turbulence and peace all at once.
Yeah.
Because you get that excitement, but you also feel that safeness.
Love it. It's great because you don't want the love to only be good but then boring. Like you want your excitement in there too.
She's my smile when I'm feeling blue. She's my good night's sleep when the day is through, yeah. Let me tell you what she means to me.
Can you pause it? The way he's describing like what he appreciates about her, or like what he appreciates, or like anybody appreciates in a partner, is like a smile, good night's sleep.
Simple.
So simple, so easy to give that it's like he's like you're not even really asking for much, but that's exactly what you need, and that's enough. So it's like wow.
Yeah, the goal is not to have like a infinite checklist either of like, oh, I need this, because then you're never gonna find this person. But like you gotta know what are the main key important things to you that will definitely make or break a relationship for you, and like based on that, you know, keep it short and simple but effective.
And then here comes Bianca's favorite part in the song.
She's kind of like this.
She's kind of like this. Kinda like the feeling after your first kiss, except that every day she makes me feel like this. She's exactly what I need.
Wait.
Oh yeah.
So that feeling of a first kiss, like that's something that you only get once, ever, in any relationship. Maybe that's also why sometimes some people want to seek a new relationship rather than repair what they have, because that feeling of something new is so exciting. But if you can be that new and exciting thing and find ways to like find new things to do, or like feel that anticipation. What was the other word that you used? Build up.
Build up is sexy.
Yeah, build up is so sexy. And if that's something that you can maintain as a feeling in a long-term relationship, that's beautiful.
You're already, I was saying last time, like, you're already halfway there.
That's it.
If you can keep the excitement alive for years to come, and even like in a marriage after you get married and you're like together for years and you have your family and your kids grow up and everything, and you still know how to keep it refreshing and new and finding new things to do to keep the excitement alive, you're winning.
The ocean rushing on the sand. She takes care of me, baby. She helps me be a better man. She's so beautiful. Sometimes I stop to close my eyes. She's exactly what I need.
And that's basically the end of the song.
You know what though? So yeah, everything repeats itself, but there's a line towards the end that I love. I don't know if it's in this version, but it says, "You're more what I need and less of what I don't." Have you heard that?
I haven't heard that version.
More of what I need and less of what I don't, baby.
So I just love that part because it's also about keeping your checklist simple,
Mhm.
and like you know exactly what you need, and also you know exactly what you don't need. So he's saying like it's like very loud. He's saying you're more of what I need and less of what I don't. And
The good outweighs the bad. That's good. It's
Mhm.
worth working on if it's anything, worth pursuing. Cool. All right, next song.
so
We're going to switch gears here. We're going from something really cute and simple to something toxic and a little bit complicated. The next song will be...
The first time Adrian heard this song, she really freaked out.
I did.
I mean, me too, but like I recently saw her live reaction and it was amazing. But I hope you guys also freak out because this song is just so intense and emotional, and Jasmine Sullivan does a great job at transmitting all those emotions.
So the name of the artist is Jasmine Sullivan, and the title of the song is...
In Love with Another Man. There you go. You're off to a great start.
Off to a great start. I'm scared.
So the whole premise of this song is it seems like she's in a healthy relationship, but she's sabotaging it because she's in love with another man. Anyway, here we go.
If I could forget him, I would. Please believe me. And I know that I should throw the towel in, but baby, it's not that easy. Hey.
All right, so little Jasmine here she's in a good relationship with a good man, and she gives him credit for it, and you'll see throughout the song she's like, oh, but you're such a nice man and you're so good for me. But she in this first verse is saying if she could forget this other dude that she's talking about, she would, because she knows it's not good for her. If she could throw the towel, like just let it go, she would, but she says it's not that easy. So we already know that she's in a situation that she knows is not good for her, and she wishes it wasn't even a thing, but it is, and it's really hard for her to not give in to it.
Than him. And if I was saying there'd be no competition, but I'm in love.
There's the tea, sis.
With someone else, and I'm so sorry. Hey, I'm in love with another man, and I know it ain't right. Hey.
All right, so here she tells us the tea, as Adrian says. She is in love with another man, and she's telling this current good man in her life that she's so sorry, but if she was saying there'd be no competition, because obviously like you're so much better than him, but she can't help her feelings. And she realizes that she's crazy because she says if she was sane. And yeah, let's keep hearing
that there
her
be no
out.
competition. Yeah. And I mean, she's apologetic. She knows that it's not right, but it's something that just happens. I mean, people come in and out of your lives that you never really expect, and sometimes you also in the effort of self-discovery, when you meet somebody, it just makes sense because you're exposed to this, or like you're widening your circle. So it's like, oh, this is one thing that I could take away from it. Or you take a lot of the good parts of something and then you try to compile it into that like one thing, right? But yeah, this just kind of reminds me of a podcast episode that we did with Karen, but we'll talk about it more later as the lyrics go on.
Okay.
You should go and find someone else who could treat you right, give you the world. Someone who understands the man you are. 'Cause baby, you shine so bright, and I would just dim your star. A girl who treats you like you treat them. Boy, I know there's plenty women who would love to have a man like you. But I'm in love with someone else. I'm so sorry, baby.
It still triggers me.
All right. So little Miss Jasmine. Here I let it all go throughout that whole piece because it's kind of the same thing. Here she realizes this guy that she's with is a good man, and he could do so much better than her because he doesn't deserve a woman that's thinking about some other dude. She's saying that he should go and find someone else who could treat him right because he knows he deserves something like that because he's such a good partner, but she's not able to reciprocate. So at least we know that Jasmine, like, she feels for the guy. It's not that he did anything wrong. It's more like, listen, I think I'm the bad one in this relationship, and you don't have to go through this. So she's being honest. She's like, I'm straight up in love with another man, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's not that, like, he's inadequate or that she herself is inadequate as a person or a lover or a partner. It's just that at this point of feeling something for another person and also, like, just acknowledging that, like, you know, other people may also love you for who you are at the capacity that you need. So
yeah,
it's kind of just also freeing, but also painful to have to do to the other person. So I love how, like, she acknowledges that it's not right and that there are continuous sorries, like, throughout.
yes. Also, she says, someone who understands you, the man that you are, because you shine so bright and I would just dim your star. And I just feel for that. I feel for all of this in this section where she's just like giving him credit for everything he's done right and how he deserves better. I know there's plenty of women who would love a man like you, because I feel like I've been in that situation. I wasn't in love with someone else, but I was in a relationship where I felt like I couldn't really connect or even understand fully my partner, and he didn't do anything wrong, but I knew that I wasn't like so in love with him. Like the things that mattered a lot to him didn't matter to me as much, and vice versa. So it was just not like a good match. And like after so many months, we actually went a full year together. I was like, this is as much as I can love you, and that's as much as you can love me, and none of us are satisfied. So why are we like forcing this? Sometimes like you're not each other's person, and that's okay, and that doesn't mean that either of you is bad. It's just that, yeah, there's better matches out there.
Yeah, and I currently went through this situation recently because this is exactly what happened, and for the longest time, like, I felt guilt over the situation. And of course, because, like, this is something that, you know, of course, like, it was clearly working, but at the same time it also wasn't.
Could be better.
It could be better. And at that point it was kind of like I should have also communicated much better that it's like, oh, well, I'm already feeling this way. Either let's fix this, so like bring it up already in the moment so that it can be fixed or addressed, or like you're not feeling like you're still leading this person on when you already know that you could be dimming their star and that sort of thing. So I think for the longest time, like, I was also avoiding that thought and just trying to make it work while also like trying to see other options. And that's super unfair to the person. So the fact that like little Jasmine over here has the strength to even let her partner know and communicate that is, you know, commendable, because that's not something easy to do or easily communicate. Because again, she said like he's a good man, things are working, and that he just needs to be understood. They just need to be understood.
Also, like, so if the song ended here, this wouldn't have been a choice for me to make for like a toxic song option, because so far she's just saying, listen, there's someone else, and I'm gonna be honest with you, we should break up, you deserve something better, and I'm gonna go with this other guy. And like, to a certain extent, that's okay, and it's super, like you said, commendable and brave to just communicate that, be honest, and move on. But this is actually toxic, and you'll see why next.
I can't explain why it's him and not no doubt, and we always seem to fight. He got the perfect body, and sometimes he don't even treat me right.
Okay, so now we know some information about this other guy, and he doesn't sound so great, to be honest.
The new guy.
The new guy. I almost want to tell Jasmine, like, are you sure you're gonna leave this perfectly good man for this other dude that you don't even know what's good about him to the point where you can explain it to your current partner? You say that you always seem to fight and that he sometimes doesn't even treat you right. So what is it about this guy that you're willing to, so good that you're willing to sacrifice your current good relationship for it? What were you gonna say?
Well, she also mentions that he got the perfect body, so it could also be something superficial.
Yeah, it's definitely sex. It's definitely sex.
Maybe there's also some internal things going on too, because, you know, at some point you also don't have to explain yourself, but for some reason you do have to have a good and valid reason for yourself of like why you're leaving something perfectly good and well. So to a certain extent, like there should be some reasons why you would leave a perfectly good relationship. And then there's also a point that you can also just so overly explain that it's like, at some point you also just can't explain things that like, this is just a feeling, it's like a gut feeling. And you just kind of also have to follow that sometimes.
Yeah, I think Jasmine is super in love with this other guy. And it's more like a feeling of, I don't feel anything even close to what I feel for this new guy, for my current partner. Therefore, she's like questioning, you know, the whole relationship.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he doesn't sound like he's really, like the new guy doesn't sound like he's really offering a good, like healthy relationship either.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's toxic. But
Karen actually brought this up. And if you guys, I brought this up a while ago, but that's a really good episode. Regarding
5.
like these lyrics. Yeah. So episode 5 with our very first guest, Karen, who's the author of a book that's soon to be published called Amazing Divorce. And she talks about maybe this guy isn't the guy for her. Maybe this is just the catalyst of a person that made her realize like, oh, the current partner that she's with is not the person for her. So it might not necessarily not be this guy. This guy might be some like infatuation because it's physical, just like a sexual sorbet maybe, like in between to while she really figures out what she wants. Maybe it's an overcorrection of what she also didn't get from the other guy. So it could also be that. I mean, and that's why she can't explain it, because maybe this guy is just the start
like
of
a bridge to like
yeah.
exit her current situation and like start dating again or something. Maybe he's not like the end goal, but definitely getting her out of her current situation that she's not satisfied with, clearly.
Yeah.
You're amazing, man. You're dissecting the shit out of this.
But when I'm with him, but when I'm with you, hey, when I'm with him, ain't nobody else like it. Oh, I'm so sorry, baby, that I had to do this to you. But I can't do pretending, because I love him, and I love him, and I'm so sorry. Do you hear me? I'm so sorry.
Alright, we got it, Jasmine. We got it. I'm sorry. So yeah, from here to the end of the song, she's saying she's sorry. She finally admits that she loves this man. She says that she can't go on pretending. So yes, she has to get out of there, because she even uses the word pretending. Like, if you're pretending in your relationship, you're just doing damage to both of you. We don't think this is a good man for her, but at least she's like moving on and letting this good guy maybe find something better, something stable long term. And yeah, we wish you the best with this new man, Jasmine. I'm really glad that you love him and you'll be with someone you love, but he has to treat you right, so keep that into account.
Yeah, cool. Sanctuary by Joji.
Go ahead and bark after dark, fallen star, I'm your one call.
toss it. Cool. So this song is by Joji. This title is Sanctuary. And if you guys don't actually know Joji, he's like an old OG YouTuber that went with the name like Filthy Frank. So it's kind of funny to see like his more serious music. So his first line is "Go ahead and bark after dark, fallen star, I'm your one call away." It's kind of nice that it's like even on like odd hours, like you can call me and it's fine. And that when the night falls, I'm your escape. When you lay alone, I ache. It's just something that I feel like yearning for somebody and actually like missing them when they're gone, like goes to show that they have value in your life. So it's nice to be like when like you don't know what you have until it's gone kind of moment. Yeah. So if you actually don't end up missing a person, like, well, maybe they're not that important. How's it? Yeah, I love that part of I've been waiting for falling in love, and that's like always something that we want to pursue, right? But it's like all these humans, I guess, in the world, like none of you have to like really wait on me. Like I'm just doing my thing, and I'm not looking for anything perfect. Like I'm not aiming for heaven, because I've been aiming for heaven above, which means like I have big expectations. I like dream. I'm above the clouds. I want to be floating and like in love. But I'm also not asking for anything perfect. Like you don't have to check all the lists. Like you don't have to be an angel. I'm not perfect myself either. But what I really need is like the sanctuary. So
yeah,
he'll
someone
say
to
it
be there for you.
Yeah, so it's like not anyone, you're the one. It's like you're so sure, and it's like it's more than fun. I don't even really need to explain it. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like you're just a sanctuary, and it's nice because it's like here it's like because what I want is what I want, sincerity, and it's like he's not even using the word need. Like this is a luxury because he's talking about wants, and like needs are so different from wants in a way that it's like what I want are like extra superfluous things that it's like this is excess, a bonus. Anything that I want at this point is like a bonus. So if what you want is what I want, then we're actually compatible.
Exactly. I was gonna say like with the angel part that he says an angel ain't what I need, and then because what you want is what I want, sincerity is basically that. Like you don't have to be perfect, as long as we're there for each other and we're sincere, that's enough for me. And everyone has like their one or two things that are like baseline, and then from there you can build a relationship. And it's simple. You're not really asking for like a knight in armor or like a perfect person. It's just like someone who's gonna feel like you're at home, like a sanctuary.
Yeah, and like it's sincere, like your wants are sincere, like you're not morphing into your partner, you're not liking a hobby or like an activity or a band just because they like that band. It just so happens that it's like a sincere connection of likes and dislikes. It's just really nice.
Souls that dream alone lie awake. I'll give you something so real.
That's it. Yeah, it's like souls that dream alone lie awake. If you don't communicate your dreams and speak what you want out into existence, you're going to wake up with the same situation. And so if you dream it and make it real and you give it to that person, that's great.
And he says, I'll give you something real.
Yeah, souls that dream alone lie awake, I'll give you something so real. So
I love this song.
When you wake up, it's actually not even a dream. It's
real. It's your real
IRL.
I like the simplicity of this song. It's like this is how love should feel. Actually, like it's not complicated. We're just like there for each other, like complementing our needs and our wants, and it's real and it's honest, it's sincere.
And when you're able to,
there's not much.
And when you're able to communicate all of those things, then it's easy to put effort into your wants and needs, and like being a partnership more than like this one-sided thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
So this last toxic song is by Regina Spektor, and it's called My Man. And it's weird because there's no music to it. It's just a cappella. I think she just sang this once at like some show. And there's like a recording of it. Like it's not even a studio recording. I don't know, guys. But I just found this song a long time ago, actually. I was in maybe high school. And the lyrics are pretty intense. So let's take a listen.
My man, don't treat me right. Don't kiss me sweet
Over here
goodnight.
too.
Don't buy me flowers to smell. Why, he's a rotten boy from hell. My man don't treat me good. He eats up all my food. And he leaves me such a mess. They say I'm cursed, but I am blessed.
All right. So first verse. Right off the bat, she's like, yeah, my man is horrible. Like, my man don't treat me right. He doesn't kiss her goodnight. Doesn't buy her flowers. He doesn't treat her good. He eats her food, which is unacceptable. Leaves a mess. So you hear like all these things, this description of this really bad man. But then she says, they say I'm cursed, but I am blessed. And like that's where you start questioning, like, is this girl okay? Like, what is she talking about? But I think it's a perfect illustration of how so many toxic relationships are. Like, even though they know it's bad and they're being treated badly, they're like in this limbo, like almost like as if they're blind to the reality, and they want to believe that it's okay, and like that's what love is supposed to be. Anyway.
He loves me, he really, really loves me. And his eyes are bluer than the bluest sky above the city. You don't agree with what a pity. He loved me, yes he does.
So there, I just want to say that the main reason why people stay is always because they think that's what love is, and it's like, oh yeah, he does all these things, but I know he loves me deep down, and like it's always like, yes, but he loves me, and it's like, why do you think they love you? Like everything that they're doing is bad to you. But usually when you're in that situation as well, the person that is the aggressor, they're also very manipulative, and they know how to make you think that it's all coming from a good place, or like at the end of the day, like they love you, and like you know that they're the right person for you because they know how to like twist things, and then the person falls for it. So that's very much what she sounds like.
Yeah. And it's like, so this is the one part I don't get, or maybe it's like so toxic. It's like, what the fuck is this sentence? So, because he loves me, loves me, really, really loves me. And then there's like a next line after that. He don't agree, but what a pity. So like, does he not agree that he loves her?
So she's just lying to herself.
Yeah. So like she already knows that he doesn't love her. Because, yeah, I mean, would he agree? You can't disagree that his eyes are bluer than the bluest sky, because that's pretty visual.
Yeah.
So is she basically saying like he doesn't agree that he loves her?
I think so.
That's crazy.
So even though he says that, she still believes so.
Yeah, and then after he don't agree, but what a pity. And then after that, he's like, he loves me. Yes, he does. Like, so she's speaking for him.
And she's trying to. It sounds like she's trying to convince herself, because she also repeats that a lot. She's like, he loves me. He loves me. He really, really loves me. It's like, oh my god, yes, this is true. I'm gonna just say it until it's true. Ugh, okay.
It's like breeds toxicity.
My man don't treat me sweet. He walks the empty streets, and he drinks and smokes and swears, and they say he doesn't care. My man, he breaks my heart. He tears me all apart, and he leaves me such a mess. They say I'm cursed, but I am blessed.
So again, we got another verse of her describing this guy. He doesn't care at all. He literally said, "He breaks my heart." Like, what else do you are you waiting to be in order to be convinced that this is not good for you? He tears me all apart. That sounds very abusive. He leaves such a mess. And then they say I'm cursed, but I am blessed. So like, despite all this too, she still believes she's blessed or like in a good relationship. And then
Yeah, and who is this they? Like, is they their friends, their family,
probably
external people that are not part of this relationship? And it's like, okay.
Also,
Wow.
if a lot of people are telling you that you're in a bad situation and like the only person who thinks you're not is you and your partner, you're probably in a bad relationship. So they, like you said, is probably everyone else.
Yeah.
Like her friends and family.
Oh, my man, I love him so. He'll never know. All my life is just despair. But I don't care when he takes me in his arms. The world is bright. All right, bum, 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 bum. What's the difference if I say I'll go away when I know I'll come back on my knees someday? For whatever my man is, I'm his forever more.
I don't even.
Crazy.
I like want to feel bad for her, but I don't, because she knows it. All my life is just despair, but I don't care.
Okay. People that are in that kind of a relationship, usually, I'm not gonna say everyone, have very low self-esteem too, and they don't really care for themselves. They have no self-love because they recognize that they're in a bad relationship. It's hurtful for them, yet it's almost like they don't care enough for their life. That's not always, because some people are literally trying to escape the situation, but then you got people like this who are just blind and toxic and masochist.
And it's so crazy because it's like she says that he loves her, and then she's the one speaking for him, and then in this last like almost seconds of the last line, it's like, oh my man, I love him so he'll never know. So it's like she's already saying that she loves him, and then he doesn't love her back. She's saying that she loves him for him, and then he'll never even know.
What is going on, girl? I don't even know. Is this even I don't know what this is. It just sounds toxic.
And it's like, you can't even threaten to like, because you know how, or not even threaten, but it's like, there's no feeling of loss even, because if she says that like, what's the difference if I'll go away?
Yeah.
Like, there's no feeling of loss for the dude or whatever, whoever she's with.
This guy doesn't care about her at all.
Well, she doesn't care about her at all either.
Because
she's gonna go crawl on her knees someday. I'm not gonna crawl on my knees someday for whoever. Like, what?
Yeah. So she's even admitting that this is, even though her life sucks, apparently this is the best thing in her life, because she says even if she goes away, she knows she'll come back on her knees someday.
For whatever my man is. That's so open-ended. Whatever. What is whatever? He's already gotten away with empty streets, drinking and smoking and swearing. He's gotten away with so much things. He doesn't kiss her goodnight.
He eats her food. That's it. Like, if you eat my food.
No. That's just unacceptable.
But then she says, when he takes me in his arm, the world is bright, all right. So there you go.
That's it?
All she knows is this guy's arms. She thinks she's happy when she's there. And she's willing to take whatever it takes, even her whole life, to be in his arms for some guy that doesn't even care. So don't be in that situation, people. Don't be like Regina Spektor, although I'm pretty sure she wasn't actually in that situation. But yeah, that was my second toxic song, and I think it's really sad. And there's a lot of people in situations like that, so I hope they develop some self-love.
I hope so, like, because clearly this guy is getting the better end of the stick, and this girl is just, oh, I feel so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, to not end on a really terrible, such sad note, on a gloomy day in Brooklyn, we're recording this on August 13th, so if you're here and you check the weather and know the weather, it's humid as balls out there. So, just to end on a good note, this is gonna be really fast. I'm gonna like reintroduce, or like I'm gonna introduce Filipino music for this one. I just feel like, and I guess it also goes for like any language, like a lot of things you just can't easily translate, and some words in another language like accurately will describe that feeling that like an English language won't really do. I won't even really play the song. We'll just go over the lyrics real quick. But it starts out, and this song is called Buwan, which is moon in Filipino, and it's written and played by Juan Carlos Labajo. And the English version is I am yours, you are mine. Your beauty in view. I'm alone now, but I want you to be with me. Like even the English translation isn't properly like apt. And the next part of it is under the white light here on earth, like fluorescent artificial light, to the yellow moon, like natural moon. Listen to my call. And like in English it's like call, but in Filipino it's hiyaw, which is like almost like a yearning outcry, which is like so fucking beautiful. And it's like over here. So it's like I love you to the moon and back, but better.
Yes. Poetic.
Yes.
And back.
And then it's the next part is I don't want to live lonely. You are the one that makes me happy, and that I will be for you until I'm old. Come with me. Let's lay down. Like absolutely, like basically anywhere. Let's see. The next part.
The language in this is already so much more positive. Like we're talking about light. We're talking about being comfortable with each other.
Oh my god, it even gets so much better. So I'm actually looking, so I have the direct English translation, but I'm just also translating as I'm reading the Tagalog lyrics. So the next part is, your beauty reaches the moon. My heartbeat is heard in the atmosphere. And it's so loud that it returns to me here. You are the embodiment of love. I will only love you. Listen to my heart and feelings. Feel my feelings. Like it's just like all feelings. Like that's really it. Until we get old, like let's just lay down. So it's basically that. It's just
comfort.
Just comfort, happiness, and like that's it. Like
and
like
understanding each other, because he's like, feel my feelings.
Yeah, like my love is so large that it's going to transcend like the atmosphere, and like you will feel it too. Yeah, so I love those Filipino lyrics. It's like I'm just gonna, because the English translation doesn't do it justice, but it's like your beauty reaches the sun, and my heart ranges from the vastness of whatever is physically encompassing, and it comes back like right to me because you're my love. It's so crazy. But yeah, that's how I think we should all feel, because it's so simple, you know, just like love you to the moon and back, man. Like something from worldly to like just unexplainable, and that's it.
But all the feelings that you get from it are happiness, comfort, safety, understanding, light.
Yeah, just light and happiness. That's like what it should be.
You shouldn't feel like someone is like using you or stepping over you or not treating you right, like Jasmine Sullivan, or like someone's eating your food, like Regina Spektor. Like, no, none of that. Unacceptable.
Yeah, and it's so funny because like the way that this song starts is I am yours, you are mine, but it doesn't feel possessive. It doesn't feel controlling. Like a lot of the other love songs are also like kind of has tinges of like ownership a little bit towards one another, but this is like a partnership.
Yes.
So that was really cool to like hear this.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Filipino lyrics. I find Filipino lyrics to be descriptive and romantic and cheesy, but like in a good way.
I'm sure there are also a lot of Spanish songs that are...
Oh, I shouldn't even get started. But thanks for letting us end on a positive note.
So yeah, if you guys enjoyed that,
tell us which of the songs you like best, or if you want to share any songs for us to dissect in another episode, that'd be really cool, because I think this was a really fun episode, and I'd love to keep, analyzing lyrics and comparing songs and toxicity levels of relationships. So feel free to send us some of your songs.
And yeah, so in between uploads, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, and all of our audio podcasts are available in any podcast platform. So we will see you guys.
Podcast.
Yes, at Women in the Wild podcast.